Past leagues I made 3 Toxic Rain character, and you guys, including me, loved it. Last league we got a rework and a few big quality of life changes for exchange of a little bit of damage. What's up guys, Pidget here. Let's see what things we got on the damage side. Our skill choice is Toxic Rain. Firing a projectiles with your bow, and where it lands you create a spark pod, and this will start dealing chaos damage over time in an area, and they can overlap with each other. You need reach a certain increased area threshold to get out the maximum overlap, and the community found out the magic number is 39. At this point all of your pods will overlap. In 3.21 they removed the AOE from the Pathfinder Ascendancy, so we need new solution to reach the AOE threshold. Using the bow mastery on the 3, that's 20, quality on Toxic Rain 10%, the remaining we will get a simple glove craft from our bench, and voila! We have 39 increased area effect. Our biggest and best multiplier is coming from a secondary source. Using ballistas, we can have 5 of these guys. They will help stack wither on the bosses, which is 90% chaos damage taken increased by default. Also, we get Ascendancy node that will increase the wither effect, also give us chance to inflict wither. In a few words, our damage will ramp much faster. Other really big damage increase is the skill effect duration, because the pods will stay longer in fights and deal damage for a longer duration. We also scaling from attack speed very heavily, so we need every possible source. On league start, we can use a cheap unique bow, Cool Rain. It was very cheap in the first day of the league, and the best thing about this, you don't even need to 6-link it. You can only use as a 4-link and socket the ballistas inside it. We can reserve all of our mana because the build using Eldritch Battery. With that, we will spend our energy shield just like we have mana, but we can use our skill more freely because we don't have to worry about the mana. To benefit from this even more, before you get a Devouring Diadem, we will use a pure energy shield helmet to have at least 450 energy shield, because I think this is a good breakpoint for the Divine Blessing setup. Even after you used Divine Blessing, you have enough energy shield to spam the Toxic Rain and still don't run out the energy shield. On the defensive side, using Race Aura for evasion rating, so we almost can die from the monster's basic attacks or projectiles. Determination for the physical damage reduction. In Crucible, they nerfed the Molten Shell. Even with this nerf, this guard skill is one of the best defensive cooldown in the game with cost 1 damage. Now we almost can't be touched by physical attacks. Only danger left for us is the spell damage, but we have a solution for this. Using spell suppression from the 3, and we have 87% only from the 3, and we will fill the remaining with mods from our gear slots. Even at league start without any specific gear, we have permanent flask uptime. We are achieving this with a couple of things. Our Ascendancy choice is Pathfinder. Pathfinder have this really cool line. Gain 3 flask charges every 3 seconds. Taking on the 3 a couple of flask nodes to boost flask charge gain. Of course, on all of our flasks needs this mod. Gain 2 or 3 charges when we get a hit. With all of this, you will have permanent flask uptime even when you standing still in your hideout. In Crucible, the devs moved the recover life on flask use to the 3, and they reused it to 4% from 6%. And we got this back with the Flask Mastery. Still, it's very strong. When you take many hits, you will not notice because the flask will immediately heal you. And we using all elemental flasks, that is reducing the elemental damage we take by a lot. Also, you can use life flask for super recovery if you want. But if you just want to mapping with this, you can just go without Life Flask. If you're using Life Flask, you have to take the Master Surgeon node. With this, your Life Flask will still active if your life is full, making an extremely good recovery option. I would like if you hit the like button like the Shaper hitting the Elder, so it can start spread to more people. Thank you! Because it's league start, we can't have big items in the first day of the league. That's why we have very basic items in the list here. Only one item worth to mention, and that's the Cool Rain unique bow. This was really cheap even in the first day of the league. That's why I'm suggesting to use it when you have enough currency for it. It will carry you almost till the high tier maps. The other very surprising thing, we will not use life mode on our body armor because we got a mastery last league, which is giving us 15% maximum life if our body armor doesn't have life mode. So we can use armor and evasion rating prefixes on our body armor. The other big changes from last league, For all 3, we got back the Mana Reservation Mastery as Mana Mastery. This is why we are allocating the battle rows, and taking Mana Mastery increase Mana Reservation efficiency of skills. Before we starting the Flask section, you don't have to cap your resistance with your gear because you will have 100% uptime on the resistance flasks. So you don't have to worry about capping your resistance with the gear, just your chaos resistance. So the flasks we using is a ruby, topaz, sapphire, quicksilver, granite. All the flask needs with this mod. Gain 2 or 3 charges when you take a hit and need this flask enchantment. Use them full. Later when you get high tier flask, you only will use the free charge when you take a hit. The submods needs to be this: increased armor, evasion, attack speed during flask effect. The order doesn't matter. Also, you can cheat your elemental resistance with adding elemental resistance mod to your flask. That has 100% uptime, so your gearing will be easier. Till you get the full flask setup, you need use a life flask. After this, if you want to more recovery, you can use the Master Surgeon node and use a life flask for more recovery. But if you just doing maps, you could get away without a life flask. I just want to highlight a few things on the passive tree. In the early levels, your main goal is allocate aspect of Eagle and Hunter's Gambit and take the Bow Mastery node here while taking a few life node and start pathing to wasting. There you can take the Chaos Mastery, 10% more damage against enemies that has energy shield. After that you will just travel to the top of the tree, taking all the nodes you see here. But do not take the Eldritch Battery till you have at least 400 or 500 energy shield. With taking Pathfinder as your Ascendancy, on your first lap take Respira. This is really huge for the early leveling. It will help you with the signal target damage and you can easily stack Wither on the enemies. Second lap, Nature's Boon. Magic Flask will have increased effect on you, so don't forget upgrade your flask to magic while leveling. Third lap, Nature's Adrenaline. You will now regen flask charges. For the last lab, you have two choices. You go with the lifeless setup and get huge recovery for boss fights, or you go full mopping mode and not use lifeless. You can still recover life easily thanks to the Flask Mastery, it's up to you. But if you feeling you dying too much, you can use even on mapping the lifeless setup. Gem and Gemling, starting with our main link in our weapon, Toxic Rain, Mirage Archer, Increased Duration, Efficacy, Void Manipulation, and Witch's Projectiles. Our secondary source of damage in our body armor, Toxic Rain, Ballista Totem, Multiple Totem, Focused Ballista, Void Manipulation, and Efficacy. Our Divine Blessing setup, Divine Blessing, Malevolence, Inspiration, and Despair. Despair is our curse. In our Aura setup, in our helmet, Grace, Determination, and Summon Skitterbots. Our defensive setup, Molten Shell, Increased Duration, and Cost when damage taken. Cost when damage taken level 3, Molten Shell level 10. And our movement skill is Flame Dash. I hope you enjoyed this video about Toxic Rain Pathfinder League Starter. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, I would like to say thank you to my Patreons to still supporting me. Thanks again guys. Thanks for watching, I was Pidget, see you next time.